This video is sponsored by invertebrate-supplies.co.uk, and the guy who runs it, Graeme, is a breeder and supplier to the UK of invertebrates. So he decided it would be a wonderful idea to send me some Indian Eri Silkmoth caterpillars. Here is my attempt at hatching Indian Eri Silkmoths. Fail. Kind of. Alright, so this all started when Graeme sent me an Instagram DM, basically just saying, look, would you like me to send you some of these? You can hatch it out and you can make a video on it. I said, yeah, of course. These will make an amazing video and it'll be a great experience for me as well. So a couple days later came a box filled with 4 Indian Eri Silkmoth caterpillars. I filmed that unboxing and I lost the footage. So this video is kind of going to be a bit of a story because I lost most of the footage from when they were caterpillars. I feel really bad. But anyway, I opened up the box and I got them into one of these wee butterfly garden things. You know when you hatched out the butterflies when you were a child, mainly UK, people would only remember this, and you got this wee pop-up nets. Well, I managed to find one, so I put them in that and fed them on privet bush. So it was really simple at the start, and I was taking loads of nice footage of them, sort of documenting my story there, and again, my phone lost all of the footage. So actually caring for the caterpillars was really kind of just like looking after stick insects, and slowly they just got bigger and bigger until finally I walked in and found that they had, that one of them had turned into a cocoon. And I didn't actually realise that it was a cocoon at first, because cocoons actually, normally, they look like a dead leaf, but actually Indian Eri Silkmoth caterpillars look like this. Alright, and I thought it would be a bit easier if I just took you down and showed you these actual cocoons, because they're actually really, really fascinating. So, if you look, then all these cocoons are made up of tiny little strands, if you can see that. These are just pure silk, which is so mind-blowing in my opinion. So it's made up of lots of little silk fibres to create a cocoon, whereas others look like a dead leaf. To disguise themselves. This is made out of actual silk, and actually what happens is usually people will breed these, and what they'll do is they'll take the cocoons and they'll spin the silk to make clothing and stuff. So that is really, really cool and something that I find fascinating about this species. Now, one of the sort of conditions of getting these was that they wouldn't really hinder getting in the way of going on holiday, because I might struggle to make a video about them and keep track of their progress if we are away. And of course, just as we were leaving, maybe 2 days before, I was doing the rounds and I looked into the enclosure just to make sure that everything was fine, and there was a moth. So now we've got 2 days until we're going away. There's a moth, and moths only live for like 7 days once they're adult moths. So we were going away for 4 days, I think it was, and obviously I probably wouldn't have time to get back and film a video on them, because I don't really want to film when we're away, because I mean the background is horrible, that kind of thing. It wasn't going to look professional. I really wanted this video to be good for Graeme. So we've got 1 moth out, 3 to go, and I also don't want to film a video now, like before we go, because I want to wait for 4 moths out. So finally, as we're leaving, we are literally getting in the car, and the 4th moth is hatching. So we've got 3 over the past sort of 2 days or so, and the 4th is hatching as we're leaving. So I brought them with me just in case I could find a good spot to film. Obviously, I'm home. And I didn't film. However, thankfully, they are all still alive. So now I'm doing a video on them, but I made up this nice enclosure for them, and then when it hit to holiday, then I couldn't take the enclosure because it was too big. So Graeme thought that they might be in cocoons whilst we're away, so we timed it kind of like that, but we were just short. So they hatched out before we went away. So I apologise, but you may well notice that the wings are like a bit torn up, especially on this guy. And that's because they mate. As soon as they hatch, their only objective is to mate. And that's why they only have like a week to go to live as moths, because they are just continuous mating and they don't care. They just flap until they find something and try and mate with it. So the problem is that now we're home and they're all alive, however they don't really look great. So I'll throw up a couple of pictures of when they just hatched and their wings were perfect. But yeah, it's a wee bit sad that their wings are a bit torn up. I'll just go put them back. Alright, and I'm back. And all I was saying is that it's really quite sad that their wings have been torn up. However, it kind of shows you the very end of their life stages. So obviously they're in eggs, then they hatch into caterpillars, and the caterpillars have a few molts, and then they get into cocoon, hatch out, and then they just mate, and they've maybe got like a day left or so. So they're really tired out, puffed out, and hopefully I've got some eggs that'll hatch out. So I mean, we could have a sequel to this epic moth hatching journey video. But I think most of this will probably have been images that I found on the web of before life stages, because my stupid phone likes getting rid of them. But in all, it was an incredible experience. And as I said, I just needed one of those wee mesh nets, bit of substrate, some branches, and I feed them on privet bush. So in all, it was an extremely rewarding experience, and I got to take some really cool little photos of them, especially on my face. They seemed to like my face for some reason, but they did. And I would highly encourage you to go and get some and try it for yourself. So I will leave a link in the description to Graeme's website, and thank you to him, obviously, for sponsoring this video. But also, if you go and check out his site, I think there may be word on the street that he has some giant Atlas moth cocoons in just now. So I mean, you could always go for a giant moth as well. But I would highly recommend getting into it. Thank you for watching this video and seeing sort of my experience from hatching out these guys, because it was pretty mad and kind of crazy. But I mean, hopefully my next try, because I would definitely like to have another try, is a bit better, because it's not necessarily a fail, but I mean, I didn't get to deliver the proper content that I wanted to you guys. Hopefully it was still enjoyable, and yeah, go and give it a go for yourself. Go give it a try, because it was really fun. But for now, that's gonna be me. I will see you in the next video. If you haven't already, do like, do subscribe, do turn on the notification bell, comment any questions, and go and check out Graeme's site. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.